Hi everyone, this is Abhinav and welcome to MTAG TV. Tonight we are live to preview the one day and the T20 series of the Indian women's team tour of England. And this is the first for MTAG TV to be talking about women's cricket. So for this special episode, we've got two very special guests with us. We've got Yash Lahoti from the Women's Cricket Zone magazine, from Women's Cricket Zone, which is one of the world's foremost websites and magazines for to discuss about everything about women's cricket. And we've got Poulami Das, who is from Women's CricStats website and contributor to Beyond the Matches as well. So welcome, guys. Welcome to the show. It's a privilege to have you guys on board for this one.
Hi,
Thank you.
Abhinav. Mutual feelings. It's always good to talk about women's cricket, and I love to chat about the ODI series which is coming up.
Absolutely. So we'll start with the Test series first up, and so yes, sir, I'll come to you first. What were your first feelings when the 11 that was the Test 11 was announced on the 16th of June when India took to the field for the first time in the whites after 7 years?
For me, there were two shocking stuff. Of course, nothing changed in the batting order as predicted it was. My shocking thing came when I saw Sneha Rana's name. I was very surprised because you see the England top order, and you see only right-handers. So to get in, say, three spinners, Deepthi, Harman being the other two, three off spinners in place and not have a leggy or a left arm spinner, I was a bit surprised. And I think so. I'm still surprised with that thing. But of course, Sneha Rana showed on the last day that what she could do with the bat. And fortunately, that gamble played well. So yeah, that was one surprise. And the other surprise was, of course, Pooja Vastrakar. If you wanted to have a seam bowling option, I would have picked Arundhati Reddy over Pooja Vastrakar. And the reason is very clear. The reason is because Pooja is very injury prone. So I want her to play the 2022 World Cup. But with her set of injuries that has been the case with her over a period of time, I wouldn't want her to play a test match because a test match requires it's a longer format of the game. She's not that fit enough to play a 4-day game. You saw that she was not given enough number of overs. She comes into bat at a lower order. I understand it in limited overs because at that 45 over mark, you want someone to finish the innings, score at an ample run rate. That's what you want in a limited overs. You don't want it in a test match. So I would have preferred Arundhati Reddy or Pooja Vastrakar. And I think so. Those were the two surprises. The rest of the 9 were picked themselves. So wasn't a lot of surprise there.
Well enumerated there, Yash. So, Poulami, I'll come to you. How did you view that playing 11 for that Test match? I mean, how shocked were you seeing some of the names that were picked, some of the ones who were not picked, like Jemima Rodriguez and all? What were your feelings?
Actually, I think my thoughts are quite similar with what Yash said. Like, if we were going with three simmers, I also thought that we will pick Arundhati Reddy over Pooja Vastrakar. So Pooja Vastrakar was a shock. And also, obviously, Sneha Rana, I think nobody predicted that Sneha Rana will be in the team with already two off spinner, as Yash said again. So those two were shockers. And for Jemima Rodriguez, actually, we didn't know that how Shafali will perform. So I thought that Jemima Rodriguez will be given a chance before her. I cannot even say that now the way Shafali performed. I think I'll never question anything related to her. So yes, it's because Jemima Rodriguez already had experience in England and she is technically a very sound batter than whatever we have seen her. So yeah, we thought that she might get selected in the team ahead of Shafali Verma, but now we can see that whatever decision was taken, that Shafali Verma was in the team, that was the best decision that could have happened. So yes, I think it's quite other than the Shafali Verma part, it's quite similar to Yash.
Well said, Poulami. Well said. So I'll come down to the one of the big talking points from that Test match. I mean, So Shafali Verma making her debut, it is a gamble of the unknown, and suddenly she is just strode out and made the stage. It was almost like she was playing the test format for almost a decade. So
Yeah.
what makes Polemy, I'll come to you first about this. What makes Shafali Verma tick so much, and what is it about her that has made her probably the most watched 17-year-old sports person in India in recent times? What just makes her so special?
I think she's just exceptionally talented and hardworking. I'll say, like the way she changed her game for the Test match. We have seen that we have known her as a T20 batter. We haven't even seen her in ODIs yet. So in T20s, she will like just come and hit the ball. But in Test match, the way she was, picking and choosing the deliveries, like which ball, how to play, and that is like one thing. The way she accommodated herself into the Test format, and plus her fearlessness, like she wasn't, like from what we have seen, she wasn't caring that who is coming from the other end. She was playing everyone equally, like she was not giving any special treatment to any bowlers on the other end. She was just looking at the delivery and playing her shots. So this is one thing about Shafali, I think, which stands out, that she plays fearlessly, be it any format of the game, and it's just incredibly exciting to watch her play. That's all I can say, like as a fan.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Your feelings about that phenomenon called Shafali Verma, and what just makes her the most watched 17-year-old sports person in India in recent times. I mean, in terms of cricket, I think since Sachin Tendulkar, no 17-year-old has grabbed the eyeballs like Shafali has.
So,
I just feel it's a lot debatable topic. The reason I'll say is because the time Sachin Tendulkar made his debut, a lot of people were watching men's cricket.
Hmm.
The time Shafali is making her debut, a lot of people are watching women's cricket. We never saw Mithali Raj make her debut. We never saw a lot of people make their debut. Otherwise, um, you never know that, oh, okay, people might have been watching them, but we never got that opportunity. Shafali is getting that opportunity and she is making full use of that. So kudos to her. I never, unlike Poulami, I never doubted Shafali. That I always had thought that she will play the test match. I always had thought that she will do well. Yes, she did not start really good in the first hour. The first hour she was playing a lot of deliveries. She was saved by a lot of things.
yeah.
But the way she adapted after that, it was phenomenal. And the reason is very clear. One word I use for Shafali Verma is fearless. The way she is fearless is the reason she's so good. The time you become that fearless, because she does not have that thing. For example, a 24, 25-year-old or a 27-year-old in an Indian team will feel that, okay, I do not perform well, I may get dropped. That Shafali Verma thing is not there with her. Shafali Verma, I am fearless. I'm going to either score a 50 ball 100 or I'm going to get out on a 0. I really don't care. One, because you have that backing of the support staff, you have the backing of the captain coach. But at the same time, you also know it in your mind that yes, you have a lengthy career. Fine, I may get dropped for whatever reasons. I may get dropped. But I have a huge career to make a comeback. So all of that puts her in a good space. And the same is going to be for a lot of cricketers who can make their debut at 16, 17-year-old. So you basically get that leeway.
Absolutely. I mean, well said, both of you. I mean, Shafali has just cornered the eyeballs like nobody has. I mean, till the time when she's batting, it's almost like the whole of India starts watching her bat that same time. So the Indian innings started. India had a stunning opening start with both Shafali and Smriti Mandhana cashing on their starts big time. And then we had that age-old issue of the Indian middle order collapse. One which has been a soap opera which has been running since very long. Most notably, it crashed during the 2017 World Cup final so tragically for us. So, what is it that constantly happens with that Indian middle order? That the moment one of the set batters is dismissed, the entire team just immediately starts crumbling down. Because even in the first innings, the moment Shafali got out at score of 167 for one, it was when she got out, the Indian team lost the remaining 9 wickets in about 60 runs, 60 odd runs. So yes, sir, I'll come to you. What plagues this Indian middle order so much that they're not able to get past that trauma of collapsing in the middle order?
Okay, I'll be very blunt. I do not like a lot of the Indian middle order. Indian middle order is just like the lower middle order or the tailenders for the Indian men's team. It's more similar to that. That one falls and it's a pack of cards. That okay, I just feel that you need better players there. Mithali Raj, the day she's been playing very well. There's no doubt to it. But see, after 2017 World Cup, after that World Cup, even her form at a lot of times has been up and down. Harmanpreet Kaur, for that matter, except for those 171 in the 2017 World Cup and the 100 in 2018 World Cup, she's not had great scores. There have been injuries to her, a lot of things, but that's been the case with her. Harman was a lot better during the South Africa series. I'm not judging her by a test match, but if you just see the last 4 years, that was the same case with Veda Krishnamurthy and she got dropped. So even Deepti Sharma, so if you play her at number 6, she has to be your finisher, but she's not able to finish a lot of innings. So that's been the case. So now Shefali has come, but the entire burden was on Smriti Mandhana. Smriti Mandhana was there, so a lot of times I have seen and I have listened that okay, if Smriti Mandhana falls, that's it. Your day is over. So if Smriti Mandhana scores a 50 or 100, India has higher chances of winning a cricket match. If Smriti Mandhana gets out on 10s and 20s, India has a higher chance of losing that same cricket match.
Yes.
Because, so for example, you just remove Shefali out of the picture, take that middle order, you see number 3 is Poonam Raut, number 4 is Mithali Raj, number 5 is Harmanpreet Kaur, number 6 is Deepti Sharma. All these are similar players. Raut, Mithali, Deepti Sharma, all these are slow players of the game. So that is the problem. And when you come to Harman, she's also a slow player of the game for the first 20-30 balls. Yes. Although if she bats a longer innings, she's able to cover that strike rate, much like Rohit Sharma in the men's side.
Absolutely.
That is the problem. So if, for example, and you cannot have that way. That is a reason why I have always told on my social media that I would prefer Jemima Rodrigues even after 5 or 10 failures, because Jemima Rodrigues offers me that better strike rate than a lot of other people. So I cannot play not even aggressive, but I cannot play all defensive players in the middle order. That is the problem with India. So with Ramesh Pawar coming back into the system, I just hope that thought process changes, that we are able to consistently hit more 300s. Mm-hmm. Fine, you may win against South Africa, you may win against New Zealand, but you are not going to win against England or Australia by playing the way you are playing.
Absolutely. Poulami, the same questions for you. What do you think? What is it, a mentality of that Indian middle order that they constantly collapse under the face of pressure?
Yeah, I think the issue till now was, I think Yash pretty much covered it again, but I think the issue was mainly with our lower middle order, I'll say. Like, still, there are some innings from Poonam Raut or Mithali Raj when they have, after a top order collapse, at least one of them were there to steady. I mean, obviously the scoring rate were not much faster, as Yash said, but yeah, maybe one of them stayed sometime, like we have even seen in the South Africa series. But after that, we are seeing collapse regularly. I mean, we can say that even Harmanpreet Kaur is not in the best of her forms in the past 2-3 years, and and after that, even Deepti Sharma and Poonam Raut and Mithali Raj, they are not able to score that fast. And then after that, there is basically nobody to accelerate the innings or to pick it up from there if the top order is collapsing. So that is a problem that is there, and that needs to be solved. Which as you said, maybe Ramesh Pawar is thinking about that, the players like Jemima Rodriguez or now Shafali Verma. If after their inclusion, if we can mend that problem in our lower middle order, hopefully.
Absolutely. I think you've actually summed it up quite well. So picking up from what Yash mentioned about Harmanpreet Kaur, we actually our next point of discussion is about Harmanpreet Kaur. In fact, so I mean her form, like you said, has tailed off dramatically over the last few couple of years. Is she
Yeah.
becoming a luxury player in this Indian middle order now? I'll take you on first, Paulami.
Yeah, so I believe what is happening with Harmanpreet Kaur is, see, Harmanpreet Kaur always gives a fear factor for the opponent. What I feel like, if
Yes.
Harmanpreet Kaur is there in the batting lineup, the opposition will always be thinking, okay, she's there. It's like the name is like enough to induce fear in the opponent, like the kind of innings she had played in the past. But it's true that for the last 2 3 years, she is not in the best of her forms, and due to the injury problems, we can see the strike rate and the average. If you just go to raw stats, the strike rate, average, everything has dropped drastically.
Yes.
So for yeah, so now at this point, if we look into the future, like we have a World Cup coming up in the next year, and for the future, I think it can be that Harmanpreet Kaur can be rested for at least 2 3 matches. I don't know, maybe if that brings her to form. Like she has a packed schedule coming up, ODI series and T20 series after that 100. So I'm not sure if she can be completely dropped because she is the vice captain of the team. I don't know if the team management will take that kind of a harsh decision. But
Yes.
at least if she can be rested for 2 3 games and we can give somebody else a chance, maybe that will even she will be able to get back her form by just reflecting on what's going wrong or something.
Yes.
Polmy, fine, fine,
Yeah,
fine. You drop Harmanpreet Kaur, but who do you replace her with? That's the bigger problem.
that's the thing. That's the bigger problem. Yes,
The
I
problem
think.
is not dropping Harmanpreet Kaur and was never about dropping Harmanpreet Kaur. The problem is who do you replace her with? See, if you see a year back, Veda Krishnamurthy was dropped, but
Yeah,
Harman got injured in the next series.
yeah.
Veda had to come back, and it was a forceful comeback for Veda by the selectors because they were not able to replace Harman with someone else. That was the reason for Veda Krishnamurthy to come. So there is no one today, at least in the middle order or in that extended ODI squad, who can actually replace Harmanpreet Kaur. So you need to have that kind of a replacement ready. So, for example, you take any other country in the world, Australia or England for that matter, they will have replacements ready. So, for example, today Heather Knight is not okay. Georgia Adams can just take her place in the 11 and still be as good, if not better. That's the same case. You drop Harmanpreet Kaur, that's fine, but who do you replace her with is the question.
Absolutely. I think there is an answer which has been provided by Pratyush. Only She-Hulk from Marvel Comics can replace Harman. That, I think that's a good way.
That's a good
That's a
option.
good. That's a very very good one. I think Pratyush. So yes, because Harman, I think she, like Paulami said, despite her bad form, she's still she's still a very intimidating presence for an opposition in the whatever form be it. So we'll come down to, I think, the most romantic part of the test match. It was that 104-run partnership that for the ninth wicket between Tanya Bhatia and Sneh Rana, which I think on the final day captured so many eyeballs that Twitter was flooded with the test match, with tweets about the test match and about how brilliant this partnership was. Yes, sir. I'll come to you. What is it that just made that partnership so special? I mean, was it the backs to the wall display from the two ladies that suddenly captured eyeballs uh, from for everyone?
I think so. It was two things. One, they did not have anything to lose. Both were debutants. So Tanya's place apparently has been questioned in the Indian side by a lot of people. Poulami is an exception, but a lot of women's cricket fans have been questioning Tanya's place and want Indrani Roy to replace her. which I feel is a very bad argument. You do not have a complete knowledge about how the system works. That is what I will say here. So she did not have a lot of things to lose, and same was the case with Sneha Rana. So both were. Sneha was making a comeback. Uh, Tanya was also making a comeback of sorts. Was dropped for the last series, so they did not have a lot of things to lose. They were just like, okay, fine. If we perform well, we're going to be in the side for the ODI series. If we don't, we may still get dropped. Tanya's place might still have been secured. Sneha Rana's place was not. Even today, I'm not sure whether Sneha makes her debut, rather not a debut, but a comeback into the ODI setup. I'm not sure of that. But still, they have made things better for themselves. That, they may just perform well. And it was that case of, in Hindi, I will have to put it down, कि क्या हम इस क्रीज पे टिक सकते हैं.
Absolutely.
So just like Tanya told when she was keeping to Beaumont, ये यहाँ पर घर बसाने आई है. It was the same case with Tanya and Sneha that वो वहाँ पे घर बसाने गए थे. So they just made a house there itself कि हाँ हमको तो बैट करना है, जब तक दिन खत्म नहीं होता हम बैट करेंगे. So it was that case for them.
Absolutely. Follow me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they were like enjoying playing. Like at the like during the end, you can see that it's not bothering them anymore. Like in the first 2-3 overs, they might like before tea. I'll say like when Tanya came to bat, it was just before tea, and then she was like settling down, and little bit of luck factor was there, I'll say. But after tea, when Sneha Rana and Tanya came to bat, it was like they understood the situation well. They understood their bowlers very well. They understood everything. It was just they can play for now all day long. That kind of attitude was there. They were enjoying actually. I can see the situation was like when Tanya came to bat, we were like I think hardly 60-70 runs ahead, and still a whole session was left. So if that wicket was gone, the match was gone for India. So that was a real pressure situation for them, for two debutants, I'll say. But after tea, somehow when they understood, okay, we are set here, they started enjoying. They started laughing with them. They started smiling, and they were like talking with each other. Like I mean, Sneha and Tanya, we can see hear it on in the Stumps mic. That was very entertaining, and they were talking among themselves. They were enjoying that, and they were just going on. They didn't know, okay, what is happening, what is my score, what is team score. They were just playing. And it was like absolutely fantastic, that partnership. We will remember that for a long time, I can say.
Absolutely. Basically, like Yash sir said, they ghar basane aaye the, to quote that famous stump mic conversation from Virat Kohli, Sham tak khelenge to everybody knows what comes after that. So I think that exactly that happened on that final day between with Sneha Rana and Tanya Bhatia's partnership. Now we'll come down to the actual reason of this podcast. The 3-match ODI series is starting from Sunday, with the first game being in Bristol again. So, what do you think? I mean, how are you seeing this series progress, and what do you think should be India's tactics to actually go to probably put it past England? Because England are coming in with a very strong one day, with a very strong squad. So where do you think, where do the chances lie for India in this one day series that they can probably put it past England somewhere? I mean, Yash, we'll come to you first.
I just feel so I'll just predict my thing here itself. I'll give 2-1 to England, and that one match I give to India is because I just have a feeling that one particular match, Smriti and Shefali both performed together, and it's the only match we can win.
Okay, yes.
I don't expect these two to perform in all 3 matches together. I'm saying together. So that the match they both perform well together is the match we win. Yes. The time one of them performs or the time they both don't perform, we are opt to lose the match. That is what I feel. Because England come on the back of a very strong RHF trophy. So they have a very strong one-day thing ready. Sophia Dunkley has hit 100. Lauren Winfield Hill has hit 100. Jones has hit 100. always Heather Knight and Nat Shiver, you just can't remove them out of the picture. Beaumont is the same. So it's like they have a squad or they have an 11 which is just like perfect. You just can't question them, at least against India. You can question them against Australia, but you cannot question them against a side like India. So
Yes.
only the match in which both our openers perform well is the match we ought to win. Will still have the chances. The rest of the match we don't have a chance. It's that simple for me.
Yes. In fact, you mentioned about how the England England team has been performing so well in the Rachel Hayhoe Trophy, RHF Trophy. There's a question that from Pratvish that England have dropped Danielle Wyatt and given her her record against us. Is it actually a relief for India that she's
It's a
not
huge
in that squad?
it's a huge relief. I'm sure even England knows this. It's a huge relief for India because Danny loves India. Like
Yeah.
Yes.
this is our favorite country. She loves playing against India. A very good friend. So I am the time whenever I speak with her, she's like, "This is my favorite place to come. This is my favorite food, but this is also my favorite country against which I want to play." So she loves the women's T20 challenge. She basically loves everything about India.
Yes.
So the time she got dropped, I was very shocked. I was like, what the hell is this? Like it's not something that you should have done because you have a ODI World Cup just up there. And
Yes.
Daniel White is someone you would want her to open. See, except for Daniel White, in the top six, nobody bats with a higher strike rate.
Yes.
Then it's directly Catherine Brunt which comes. So basically, Danny White is your option to a Shefali Verma,
Hmm.
and you should not have dropped her. But now that you have dropped her, she basically gets a couple of more games at Southern Vipers before she joins the squad for the T20 I set up, unless and until she is dropped there also, which will be very shocking. But yeah, very coming from an Indian perspective, huge relief. I think so. We will be happy seeing a Lauren Winfield Hill on the ground than a Danny Wyatt because, of course, the amount of runs she scores, but also at the strike rate she scores. So both the things will be a huge relief for India.
You're right. You're right. Poulami, I'll come to you now. Your thoughts about the ODI series, and also I'll talk to you about the T20 series that'll come up. And how big is the dropping of Danny Wyatt from the England one day setup?
Yeah, definitely. It's a big relief for us. Yes, as Yash said, Danny has a very good record against India. So it's really shocking that they have, and even if you go to her international performances, even if you think that she has been dropped based on her last 2-3 series, it was not that great for her. The form was not that great, but it was like I think hardly 2 series she didn't perform. But after that, in recent RHF Trophy, she is playing really well. Like I think she has already has 3 half centuries in 4 matches.
Yes.
So she is absolutely back in form, and she should have been there in the squad from England side. And I'm also shocked that how can she be dropped? But anyways, it's their tactics. So it's good for us at the end of the day. But for India, yeah, I will say that England is ahead of us in the ODI series, and as Yash said, it will be 2-1 or 3-0 in favor of England. I mean, if I want to be really pessimistic, but yeah, it's like I think England is ahead of us because they have a set squad and India doesn't have a set squad yet. Like we have hardly, I think, 5-6 players which we can say, okay, they are they will be in the 11. So all the other players like our number three, our number five, our number the Arundhati Reddy or Pooja Vastrakar, all these confusions is still there. We still don't know what is our squad, and we have to kind of figure it out in this series. So yeah, we are starting in a back foot, that kind of way. But again, we have a huge mental boost from the test match, which I feel like it was kind of a win for us. Even though
Yes.
it's a draw, but it was a win for us. And I think Mithali Raj in the press conference have stated that okay, England is in the back foot, and also these things are kind of a mental pressure we are creating on England. I think so. If that momentum is there, and somehow we perform like miraculously, like Sneha Rana and Tanya Bhatia partnership, if something like that happens, then we never know. Like, we can hope for the best.
Absolutely. There's a very interesting question from Shalin Shah that's come in, and considering the struggles of the Indian middle order, which Yash you've spoken about so often, is Veda Krishnamurthy's omission from the limited overs setup a surprise? Because granted, her form has been slightly up and down. She's one of the very few batters in that middle order who actually, like Harman, are the initiative takers from ball number one. So, what do you think? How big is the submission for Veda Krishnamurthy, and is there a chance for her to make her comeback in the side?
I don't. So of course, there is always a chance to make a comeback. That's never ruled out of. That's never ruled out. She used to perform well, say for the A side, for the domestics whenever they happen. But yeah, I'm not surprised by Veda's dropping from the limited over setup. She's been given a longer rope than a lot of people usually are. A lot of people are dropped for no reason of theirs. We've seen that happen so often and as recent as the South Africa series. But Veda's form has always been a concern. If you just see after the 2017 World Cup, she played well in the quarterfinals against a virtual quarterfinal against New Zealand, wherein she scored a 50 and Mithali scored a 100. That was the last good game she scored. In the last 4 years, if you just see from 17 to 21, there is only one innings that strikes out for me. That is a 50. I think so. It was in Potchefstroom when Smriti scored 135 not out. So that was the only match I remember where Veda's impact was there. But it was always that Smriti stole the show because of her 135. But of course, Veda's knock was equally important. But except for that one knock, I have not seen Veda Krishnamurthy perform a lot well in the last 3-4 years.
Yes.
That is a major reason for her dropping, of course. So she does not average a lot good. Of course, she has a better strike rate than a lot of other people. But then sometimes you need to stop giving that rope so that you can actually think of having some other person come on board and say that, oh, okay, I can perform well. That has happened in the T20I setup with Richa Ghosh at that position. So I would want to see Richa Ghosh or the likes of Devika Vaidya and a lot of other people in the domestic setup pushed to the ODI side and said that, oh, okay, fine, we have the luxury of even dropping a Deepti Sharma and, for example, giving a Richa Ghosh that position and say that, oh, okay, you're going to come at in the overs 40 to 50 and just going to hit whatever the market is.
Absolutely. Poulami, I'll come to you with this Veda Krishnamurthy question and then linking it up to this question that we've got from Prajin Prasad, that should Deepti be promoted up the order like we did in test because she looks high on confidence, and considering what Yash said, is this Veda's dropping and maybe pushing Deepti up the order can create some elbow room in the middle order for somebody like a Richa Ghosh or someone to step in? Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think for Veda's dropping, I'll say that she didn't she wasn't in best of her forms for last 2-3 years. We haven't seen any good innings from her, so it's not really a surprise that she was dropped. I won't say that because we saw it coming. And for Deepti to be promoted up the order, see, opening spots are confirmed. So now if Deepti is promoted up, she will either come at 3 or 4. So it's basically the same kind of lineup we're again having, like Poonam, Mithali, Deepti. All three are similar kind of player, as Yash said. So if we are even promoting Deepti, it doesn't make much difference from the Indian setup perspective. It still stays the same. So I don't see any point in promoting Deepti up the order.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I basically feel that if Deepti is promoted at number 3, you have to drop Poonam Raut out of the setup. So she gets out. And number 6 is either taken by a Richa Ghosh, or you go and say to Jemimah Rodrigues that, okay, we have a new role for you. You're going to be our finisher. What you have to do is be ready for overs 40 to 50 and you have to kill it out. She can do it. We've seen her do that for the Northern Diamonds in the KSL. So she has the ability to do that. So you just go her and tell you're going to be our 40 to 50 percent. So you have to come at number 6. But maybe if our top 4 get out very early, you may have to play the anchors, which is very understood. So she basically performs that role of Suresh Raina or Kedar Jadhav in the Indian setup, or say what Hardik Pandya does today. So that is her role in the side. So you have, because you cannot expect that from a Poonam Raut.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very very good suggestion over there. So that's where another question from Pratyush comes in. It was a dream test debut for Sneh Rana. Do you think that she can replicate this form in the white ball series that will come up if she's getting a chance? Do you see her making a spot in the ODI, getting into the ODI side on the back of her test match form?
See, she came into the test match on the back of her ODI bowling. That
Yes.
senior domestics, she performed really well, which is, of course, a white ball game. So she performed really well in the senior one-day domestic season. And that was the reason she was taken for the England series. Mithali told very clearly we did not have a lot of options. We just went back to the domestic who performed well. Indrani Roy, Sneha Rana both performed well. We just took them in the side. Sneha was good when she was bowling in the nets. And that was the reason Sneha was preferred above Ekta Bisht or Poonam Yadav in the 11. So again, if she makes a dream, it's not going to be a debut, it's going to be a comeback. So if Sneha Rana makes a comeback in the ODI setup, whether she performs well or not, I don't know. But she will only come back because she had a wonderful white ball season. And it's not only 1 year, it's 3 years, last 3 years. So last 3 years, Sneha Rana has performed very well at the domestic setup, and that is the reason she's going to make a comeback into the ODI side. She will make a comeback, I'm sure. Whether she makes a comeback in the first match or whether in the second or third match is yet to be seen. But she'll definitely play a game or two.
Absolutely. What do you think, Poulami?
Yeah, definitely. I agree with Yash. I think she will be in the ODI squad, and I think it will be in the first match itself because she is in a momentum. You can say she is carrying that momentum from the test, and I think she will be there in the playing 11 for sure. I don't think she will be dropped.
Absolutely. We've got a barrage of questions about the spinners coming in, and that's where V. Manjunath's question. The role of spin in women's cricket, Devika Vaidya, Sneh Rana have had their ups and downs. Is it because they start young and it's hard to stay motivated? Yes, because you followed the domestic circuit quite closely, and so have you, Poulami. What do you think? I mean, how big is the role of spin in women's cricket, and why is it that at times the spinners have such sharp ups and downs?
I don't think so. It's hard to stay motivated, not at all. When you're playing professional cricket, when you're playing any professional sport, you know there are going to be ups and downs. Prana, Vaidya, I know both their stories very well. I know Devika very well. I know for that matter that I will say it's not hard to not stay motivated because of the ups and downs, but rather because of their non-selection and selection of someone else who has not performed well. This has been the issue with the Indian selectors. Yes. They've gone and picked up people who have not performed well for whatever biases. So that is the reason to not stay motivated. So staying motivated and not staying motivated does not come with performances. Everybody will have a dip in form. Nobody is going to be, even Sachin Tendulkar, the greatest of all cricketers, did not have a steady form all through his life. So it's not going to be the case with everyone. And I'm sure all the sports people in the country, wherever they play, outside the country, they know this situation is going to happen. Somebody is going to have one bad series, somebody is going to have one bad year, somebody is going to have multiple bad years, multiple bad series. So it's never that question, but I always feel that that motivation comes down to how you are treated, how well you are treated. For example, I'll just connect it with the corporate world. We guys work at different places. So if your employer is not giving you good attention, if your boss is not treating you well, you would not want to work for that organization. You would want to shift organizations.
Absolutely.
The problem with cricketers or sports people is They have to work for one body all their life. They cannot switch a company. It's not a company. So they can only have that grudge or not have motivated or things like that. And it's only going to be because they have either bad bosses or the culture is not good. So the team culture has to be good. The system has to be good overall, and that will all make sure that everyone is motivated in the system. Just like in Australia and England right now are. So we recently spoke with Sophia Dunkley, and Sophia Dunkley was like, because I got a domestic contract last year, that is the reason I've been able to play more. I don't have to look out for a second income anywhere else, and that is the reason for her to stay motivated.
Yes. Poulami, your take on this?
Yeah, I think I don't have anything much to add. I think Yash has covered everything pretty much. I'll just continue from what he said, as he said about Sophia Dunkley, right? The domestic contract has motivated her to perform well. I think that kind of a setup is needed in our country as well. Like this separate income, like if you don't have that security, like job security, as we say in our world as well, like if you don't have the job security, that okay, if, even after 5-6 years I'll have a income from this, that is the main thing that keeps us motivated. So we need to give them that job security, like from somewhere or the other, if I perform well, I am going to earn from this. That is the main thing that we need to implement in our system, I feel. And if it gets improved, the situation, I think we'll get more and more talents coming up.
Absolutely. We spoke so much about the domestic circuit, so that's where another question from V. Manjunath has come in. Who are the spinners that have impressed you in the domestic circuit and are knocking on the doors of selection in the Indian team? And has Poonam Yadav's tricks been found out, and what should she be doing to hold the spot, to hold down a spot regularly? We'll start with you, Yash.
Let Poulami answer first.
Okay. Poulami, you can
Yeah,
take forward.
yes. So I'll take the part about Poonam Yadav. I'm not sure that, I mean, I'll not say that Poonam Yadav's tricks has been found out, and it's not like that. It's just that she is going through a bad time, I feel, a bad phase, which I believe a cricketer with the caliber of Poonam Yadav, she will come back soon. She just needs to figure out and do some changes, maybe in her whatever armory she has. So I think that is a thing. It's just a matter of time that she comes back. Uh, I think she has played in the last in these domestic sessions. She was not that successful, and the SA series she was not that successful. So it's not really a long time, and I think this kind of bad patch can come and go. So I'm really hopeful that she will be back with more vicious attacks.
Absolutely. Yash, what do you think, especially about the spinners who are coming in through the domestic circuit, and who are the ones who you feel are on the doorstep of being selected in the Indian team?
So, just up and coming, I don't know any up and coming spinner, but I know spinners who have been in the system for a bit of time and are doing good. So, of course, except for all the logical choices of Poonam Yadav, Ekta Bisht, Rajeshwari Gaikwad, Radha Yadav, except for them, of course, the only name that sticks out is Devika Vaidya. I still feel that she's the best leg spinner available in the country, ahead of Poonam. So I'll put this that I just feel that Devika is a better spinner than Poonam. Of course, Devika has not been preferred. So if you just go back and roll back to 2017, Poonam Yadav was not the first choice spinner. It was always Ekta Bisht. Ekta Bisht was the first choice spinner. Poonam Yadav was second, and Rajeshwari was third. Because Devika missed out on that trip because of an injury. Otherwise, Devika Vaidya would have been your first choice spinner. So, but after that, she's never. Our system is such that she was not given enough attention, enough care, and she did not make a smooth return to the system. So, for example, Hardik Pandya got injured, but there was a system that Hardik Pandya easily made it to back in the Indian side. So that was the same case. I think Devika should have made and should have been your prime leg spinner, even ahead of Poonam Yadav for that matter. When it comes to holding a spot regularly, I just feel that till the time you do not have a competitor leg spinner in your squad, Poonam will hold to her place till the time they are playing a leg spinner. So if they want to play a leg spinner, it's going to be Poonam Yadav. It's not going to be someone else. But
Yes.
if you put Devika Vaidya in the system, in the squad, now Poonam Yadav has pressure all over her that yes, I have to perform well. Because if I don't, then she's there to take my side. But today, I feel it's a very relaxed system that yes, fine. So for example, just like if you take the ODI setup, Rajeshwari and Ekta. So Ekta knows that she has to perform well on this tour, whatever matches she gets, because Rajeshwari is not on this tour. But there is that thing that Rajeshwari will make a comeback. Or when you take the T20I setup, Radha Yadav was your first choice left arm spinner. Yes. But if you see, Rajeshwari forced her way into the system. She performed well for the A side, she performed well for the main side, and that is when even the first match of the T20 World Cup last year, Radha Yadav was not in your 11 because Rajeshwari had forced her way into the system. See, you need competition, and that's the only way you are going to become better. So, for example, even Shafali Verma in the top order may lose form, may not perform well if she doesn't know that there is someone knocking the door. So if she knows that, oh, okay, there is someone knocking the door, even Shafali will start performing much better than she is doing right now. I'm just giving an example. So you always need someone to push your case that yes, if I don't perform well, somebody else is going to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking about Ekta Bisht and Rajeshwari Gaikwad, V. Manjunath has just kept on coming. He's been quite enthusiastic, our doc over here. So he said the flattish and miserly Ekta Bisht or the flight giving enticing Rajeshwari Gaikwad. Who between the two would be their first choice left arm spinner, especially if the ODI side is concerned? We'll start with you, Yash.
I'll pick Ekta Bisht over Rajeshwari Gaikwad. That's of course my choice, but everybody has. It will depend on the wicket, but yeah, I'll 70-30 to Bisht over Gaikwad.
Absolutely. Okay, interesting. And what about you? Same for you.
Yeah,
that's nice.
I will choose Ekta Bisht.
So we've got another question from Shalin Shah coming in. What I think this is something we might have discussed. What should be the makeup of India's lower order and the bowling lineup? And second part of the question: can Sneh Rana break into the 11 on the back of her impressive Test match form and the runs that she got towards the end? We've probably discussed the second part. The first part of the question, Poulami, what do you think? What should be India's composition, especially towards the lower order and their bowling lineup?
I feel that, so I feel that Jhulan Goswami and Shikha Pandey is quite confirmed to start with in the first ODI. For the third bowler, I think we should go with Ekta Bisht. And obviously, we have Tanya Bhatia as the wicketkeeper, and we have Sneha Rana. Sneha Rana is going to start. That's what I feel in the first ODI because she has that momentum on Test, as I said. So I think yes, Tanya Bhatia, Sneha Rana, and then Shikha Pandey, Jhulan Goswami, Ekta Bisht. This will be as far like what I feel. It will be our lower middle order in the first ODI.
What about you, Yash?
So I just put my 11 down here so that it's easy to understand. Shafali Smriti to start with, of course.
Yeah.
I will prefer Jemima, but I know that she will not start it. It will be Poonam Rao to start.
Yes.
But I'll still prefer Jemima, whatever the form. I really don't care. I'll still go with Jemima. Number 4 would, of course, Mithali, Harman, Deepthi. So no changes there, of course, because you don't have a lot of things to choose from. Number 7, of course, Tanya Bhatia. I have. If people call me biased, I'm okay, but I'll still go with Tanya Bhatia or Indrani Roy any day. And the four bowlers are going to be Shikha, Jhulan, the pacers. I'll go with 2 spinners. I'll go with Sneha Rana because of her performance and her recent performance in the domestics. I'll give Sneha Rana the return cap. And I'll go with Ekta Bisht. So that's going to be my 11. So of course you have 5 bowlers plus Harman, so you easily have that thing. But if you have Jemima Rodriguez, you have an option of a seventh bowler. So
Yeah.
that's my take.
A very very interesting one. In fact, we'll come down. We'll have a brief discussion about the tournament. We briefly mentioned about the which is the 100, and there is going to be excitement for Indian fans because we have four Indian players involved in the competition. There's of course Shafali Verma, who is turning out for the Birmingham Phoenix. There's Harmanpreet Kaur returning to Lancashire for the Manchester Originals, and then there's Smriti Mandana and Deepti Sharma there. So, Poulami, I'll come to you first. What should the Indian audiences be expecting from these four in the 100? Because it's a completely new format, but suddenly the Indian players have suddenly piqued interest in the competition. So, Yash, I'll take you on first, and then we'll come to Poulami.
I was just showing that there are five. You have
Five,
guessed
yes.
out on
Oh yes,
Jemima Rodriguez.
on Jemima. Oh yes, because
I was just
Jemima is
pointing
playing
out
with
that there
the
are five Indians.
yes. Jemima is playing for the Northern Superchargers. If I recall now, she's
Yeah.
playing for the Northern Superchargers. So Yash, how important is the 100 going to be for these five players going down as they prepare for the tour of Australia afterwards?
More important than anything else, I feel it's going to be important for the sheer reason that they will have something to play.
Absolutely.
The rest of the girls, because they return back to India, the rest of the women, because they return back to India, and we know the situation in India, the rest of the girls will not get any matches to play. They may at max be at the NCA and just practice it out. The good thing up for these five players is they are going to get matches, competitive cricket to play, which is the most important thing I feel. So whether you fail, you pass, you do good, you do bad, but you're going to face Catherine Brands, Anya Shrubsoles of the world. You're going to play again with the best and against the best players. So you have a Meg Lannon, you have a Beth Mooney, you have everyone with whom you're going to play. I don't think anything is better and bigger than this. That is the reason I love the concept of the IPL. I love the concept of the Big Bash. I love this franchisee cricket concept because you get to play more often. Because, for example, you just play the T20 World Cup once in every 2 years, or a 50-over World Cup once in every 4 years. But this is a thing which you get to play every year. This is a thing wherein, for example, a Jemima Rodriguez picks up a brain of a Meg Lannon. If they both, or in this case, Alisa Healy, when they both play at the Northern Superchargers. So you very well do not know that maybe this 100, we're right now all talking about Jemima Rodriguez's place in the Indian side. You never know the 100 is going to be the place wherein Jemima says, fine, I'm the highest run scorer of this 100, and now you cannot drop me from that Australia series. You will have to play me in the test match, you will have to play me in the ODI setup, you will have to play me in the T20Is. I have made sure, and I've made that case, that yes, I have to play. Now you select the rest of the 10. So I think so these five players will have that thing in their mind. I am sure the other four do not lose their places, whatever happens. But maybe a Deepti Sharma does. But Smriti, Shafali, Harman, they do not lose their places in the India 11. But when it comes to players like Jemima especially, it's going to be a case wherein, fine, I have everything to prove and I have proven. So
Yes.
you never know what happens in these 2 months. So maybe by the end of August, we'll all be talking about that, okay, Jemima's place is fixed in the India 11. Now you need to discuss that who gets dropped.
Absolutely. I think. What do you feel about the 100 and the participation of the five Indian players in the tournament across across the 8 franchisees? How important is this tournament for these 5 players going into the Australian tour and in for the World Cup as well?
Yeah, I think I'm incredibly excited to see them in the franchise leagues, and there will be we will have the best of players from the world, like Meg
Yes.
Lanning, Sarah Taylor, all of them will be playing, and for a young Shafali and a young Jemima Rodriguez to be there and be in the same team, in the same dressing room, and share those experiences with them, and then go out and perform against the best players of the world, I'll say. So this is going to be exciting for the fans, and as well as pretty exciting for the players as well. Like, I'm still thinking about Shafali Verma and Ellis Perry in the same team when they will come out. So I think this franchise leagues are something really exciting, and we are really looking forward to it. Uh, let's see.
Yes, because Shafali right now is Shafali and Elise Perry at the Birmingham Originals, at the Birmingham Phoenix, and then
Birmingham Phoenix.
sometime in
Yes.
December it will be Shafali Verma and Alyssa Healy for the Sydney Sixers in the
For the
WBBL.
Yeah.
So that
That's
that
great.
again, it's going to be exciting for everyone. There are a couple of questions that have come in for the both of you. Kanagaraj T has said, if Indrani can bat with a better strike rate and play aggressively, is there a chance that she replaces Tanya Bhatia in the 11? Poulami, you can take over for this one.
Yeah, see, if Tanya Bhatia fails constantly for upcoming 2-3 series, then I think there can be a discussion on whether to replace her or not. But for now, she has just come back to the team. I'll say she was already
Yes.
dropped in the SA series, and she is just back, and back with a bang. I'll say
Yes.
she has proved that she can bat, and I think she is the best. I mean, one of the very best of the world behind the stumps. So
Absolutely.
right now, I don't see any chances of dropping her in the upcoming series. Yes, we can. I'm not sure if team management will want to try Indrani for 1 or 2 matches in the T20s, maybe. But even if she plays with a better strike rate, play aggressive, I mean, Tanya Bhatia can also do that, basically.
Yes.
So, and if you say that if she can strike with a better strike rate or play aggressive, so see, first of all, we have seen her only in domestics. We haven't seen her in internationals yet. So she first has to prove herself in the internationals, that whether she can play like she was playing in the domestics. It's a completely different ball game. So yeah, so it's I think it's a discussion for a much later time. I don't think that right now it's an option.
Absolutely. What do you feel, Yash?
She cannot replace Tanya Bhatia, whatever happens. If she plays as a batter. And yeah, you can replace her with anyone else than Tanya. I'll not replace Tanya with anyone in the country today for the sheer reason of wicket keeping. So if Tanya Bhatia is number 1 in the wicket keeping list, there is no one else in the top 10. It is that big a difference. So I don't want to lose for reasons I do not know whether is an Indrani Roy going to score 20-30 runs at a quicker pace. See, all of this is in a doubt, right? And not everyone can score at a quicker pace and be aggressive every match. You will do that once in every 3 games, 4 games. But a good wicket keeper will always save me 30-40 runs.
Absolutely.
That is what I say. I say it about Saha also. So if Saha plays in the Indian team, he always saves you those runs. So Tanya Bhatia is always going to save me 30, 40, 50 runs on a given day, on any day for that matter. But a batter is not going to hit you runs every single match. Simple reason why Tanya Bhatia is irreplaceable today.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll say that irreplaceable. If Indrani Roy, she plays as a batter, that's okay. She cannot play as a wicketkeeper.
Absolutely, I think you're right. I think there's a question from Pooja Programmer as well. She's saying, why is everyone choosing Poonam when her strike rate isn't better than Jemmy's? And telling her, even if she does about the part of backing, even if Jemmy doesn't perform well, telling her that the team management telling her they'll back her will give her the confidence and she'll definitely perform. I think there is, yeah.
So basically, I have a story to this. So
okay,
I'll take you back to 2018. So 2018, Jemima Rodriguez was basically going to start in the first 11 in a series against England in Nagpur. But what happened? A day before that series started, So 2 days before that series started, there was a warm-up match. India A versus England. Now, India A was being opened by Devika Vaidya. Devika Vaidya scored a century there. Jemima Rodrigues, who was going to play in the first 11 for the India main side with Smriti, was dropped for reasons unknown. Because Devika performed well, so Devika had to take her place. Devika played those 2 ODIs. Third ODI, Devika got dropped and Jemima was preferred. 2 months later, and this was Tushar Arothe's last series as coach,
Yes.
Devika Vaidya was completely dropped from the entire Asia Cup in Malaysia. Entire Asia Cup. She did not play a single match. Everyone was shocked. Nobody knew the reason. There was no press conference, so nobody was able to ask questions. After that, Ramesh Pawar became the coach of the Indian side. Indian team went to Sri Lanka. I remember having this discussion with Ramesh and with Harmanpreet Kaur, who is the T20 captain. I remember having a discussion with them in Sri Lanka, and they saying very clearly that Jemima is going to play all 5 matches in the T20s. She will play all 5 matches. She will play all the matches at number 3. And this was told to Jemima that, Jemmy, you're going to play all 5 matches. You're going to play at number 3. Now it's your chance to perform. When you give this confidence to a player, it certainly helps them. That yes, I'm not going to get dropped after a match or a 2, even if I perform badly. Jemima Rodrigues was the player of the series of that particular 5-match series. So 5-match series against Sri Lanka, I think so, all in Colombo at different grounds. Jemima Rodrigues was the player of the series.
Yes.
I still have videos from that series. She hit 3 consecutive sixes. The way she was playing, it was something I had never seen Jemmy play before. I'd seen her at domestics, I'd seen her at a lot of places. But the way she was playing in Sri Lanka, I had never seen her play before like that. So, with a player like Jemima Rodrigues' caliber performance, I agree what Pooja says, that you have to go to her, say her you are playing all the matches in this series in Australia, we're not dropping you. You're going to play all the matches. And that is the only way you're going to win that yes, somebody is going to perform well for you. And the same goes with Tanya Bhatia. Tanya Bhatia needs to be, the coach or the captain needs to go to Tanya and say, you're not getting dropped. Don't worry about that. But she needs to also be given a role. If we see, she's batted at all the positions from number 1 to number 10 in her very small career. Her career has been 3 years only. Out of that, 1 year was a pandemic year. And Tanya has batted at every position from 1 to 10. The 11th position is the only thing she's not batted till now. So if you put a player who's so young, say her to bat at any position, it's going to affect their mentality and how they play.
Yes.
What you need to do is go to Tanya Bhatia. Fine, you do not have a finisher today. So you need to go to Tanya Bhatia and say, Tanya, you are going to be our finisher. We're going to play you at number 6 or 7. You may even play at number 4 if the top 3 play till whatever, say, number 40 overs. So if they play till 40 overs, we are going to send you at number 4. You are going to be our dynamite at the end of the innings. That is something that we need. So if and I'm sure then Tanya will say that, oh, okay, if my job is of a hitter, I am going to do that. She may not have the best of power, but she can use the next 2 months, which she is going to be either at home or at the NCA, to develop that muscle power and just start smacking. But this is a thing that is to go from the captain or the coach to the player and say, you're not going to lose a position in the side, but this is your role. This is how you need to perform. I am sure the players will perform.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. I think there is a misconception that is going around that Tanya Bhatia cannot score at a higher rate, which is absolutely wrong. So if you just look at the raw stats for the last 3 years since Tanya Bhatia performs, she comes in the top 4 of the highest strike rates of the, even ahead of Harmanpreet Kaur, by the way. So like whatever, I mean, that is like there, its numbers are there. So if you give her a fixed position, you give her a fixed role, as Yash said that, okay, this is your role, this is what you have to do. she can accommodate, she can adapt to that very well because she is technically very sound as a batter. Okay, so I think, yeah, that is the problem that is going on, that she's not given a fixed role or a fixed position. And if that thing changes, we can see another side of her.
That is what I'm saying. That is what I completely agree with Poulami. That is what I'm saying. All the players who are saying, all the people who are saying, all the fans who are saying that Tanya Bhatia is not aggressive, Tanya Bhatia does not have a good strike rate and everything. I just feel those people have not seen Tanya at the domestic level. You go and see Tanya Bhatia, the way she bats, the way she is at the domestic level, and a lot of your doubts will get cleared whenever domestics happen.
Yes, because there's a question from Prajin Prasad once again, and he said more failures at the international level will put Jemima on under pressure. This was said during the Women's Cricket Zone Live, in fact. And do you guys agree with this? Either of you can take this one.
I'll let Yash take on this.
Okay. Yash, you can.
I will have to say about my platform itself. See, it was told at Women's Cricket Zone Live. I know both Ananya and Vanita told the same thing. And I kind of agree with them. I do not disagree with them. That, but if Jemima is performing well in the nets, I will want her to be in the 11. If she is not performing well in the nets, of course, then you can you have that complete leisurety that, okay, do not play her. Play Poonam Raut ahead of her. That's completely fine. But if Jemima is performing well in the nets, which is going to be more important right now, because you do not have a. So, for example, Danny White getting dropped, but Danny White is actually playing the T20, the Charlotte Edwards Cup. So she's playing there. So you know how she's going to perform. You know you have to take her back in the system. All of that, and I'm sure Lisa Caitlin's doing that. But with Jemima Rodriguez, the problem is that she's not playing anywhere else. So you do not have that, okay, I will keep an eye on Jemmy, how she's doing well, and I'll call her to the side. No, that's not the case. The only way you are going to actually judge Jemmy is the way she performs well in the nets. So if Jemima is playing well in the nets, you take her in the 11. If she is not, then I understand Ananya's point of more failure will put unnecessary pressure on Jemima Rodriguez, which is completely fine. So she also should have that hunger that, yes, I did not perform well the last time around. That is the reason I'm getting dropped. But I'll perform doubly well when it comes to nets, when it comes to the 100, and I'm going to make a comeback.
Absolutely. Well said over there. So I think we have hit the 1 hour. We're close. We've hit the 1 hour plus mark, and it's been such an engaging conversation. So thank you to everybody who joined in. Please. So we will be calling close to day's play over here with on our discussion about the India-England white ball series that's coming up. So huge thanks to both Yash and to Poulami for joining us and contributing so much to our discussion today. Thank you to everybody who were there in the live chat and were throwing in their question, because that's helped us flesh out our discussions even further. So go follow Yash, go follow Poulami on their respective socials, follow Women's Cricket Zone and CricStats as well, Women's CricStats on their Twitter pages and everything, because they're putting out some real quality content over there. And follow MTag on our socials. The links to all the socials for Women's Cricket Zone, CricStat and MTag are there on the description box below. So hit. Share and subscribe to MTag and stay tuned for all more content coming right through this sporting season, right through. So thank you, Yash. Thank you, Poulami. What a fabulous discussion we've had. We thank you to everybody else. We will see you soon with another live soon. So thank you, guys. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.